All right, gang. We're going to quickly review page 302, and then I want to take you through a couple more lessons here. But we've been working with volume. You guys worked on some IXL with volume. We started volume last week and started with and got a formula for volume. When you have these irregular shapes, or if you have stacks, of cubes, there's easier ways. I'm sure many of you just counted. You can count the front group of 9 and then figure out, well, how many groups of 9 do we have? You have 5 groups of 9. You can figure out the base, okay? And the base, when we say that, is already figuring out the area for that. Length times width, base times height, whatever, to figure out the base, and then count how high you go, which you have 3 stacks here. On this one, you have 45 total cubes. This one, when they get irregular like this, probably just counted this one out. But for this one, there were 25 cubes. This one was a little bit goofier. There are 40 total cubes. And the final one, you had 26 cubes in that one. I didn't ask you to do number 5, but many of the strategies, and this is why I wish had you guys here, because you all developed different strategies. But some of you probably multiplied some of you did a combination of some adding and multiplying, and some of you maybe just counted the whole stack. But when we come down here to these, and if we go back and we talked about the formula. Okay, so volume equals, and we go capital V and a capital B, base times our height. So capital V, capital B. Mine is a little sloppy. But so for this, your number model, you would multiply and find your area of the base. Okay, so now we don't have cubes to count. We have to do the math here. So you have the area of the base, which is 2 times 3, and then we multiply that by the height. Okay, so we'd go 2 times 3 times the height, which is 3. 2 times 3 times 3. And for your area, 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 would be 18 centimeters cubed. You had to put that little 3 there. Okay, for this one, we have 8 times 10 times our height, which is 2. Okay, well, 8 times 10 is 80. 80 times 2 is 160. Okay, that page should have been pretty easy. Let's jump ahead now. So that was page 302. We're going to jump and do page 304. On page 304, okay, we have a lot of review. This is kind of a math box with a lot of review. The object below has a shape of a geometric solid. What is it? Well, it's actually a picture of one. So hopefully you got this. It is a cone. This one, you're rotating a figure a half turn clockwise or counterclockwise. When it's like this, either way, it's going to be the same. So here's our original shape, 2 dots. Okay, and if we rotated this and we rotated it clockwise a quarter, it would come here a full way around, is all the way upside down. So now this would be on the bottom, and these two would have rotated to the top. So our answer for that is A. For these, it says write a number model to estimate the answer, then correctly place the decimal point. Well, really what we got to do here is some rounding. Okay, so if we rounded this to the nearest whole number, the 9 would bump that up and make it 33. Okay, and if we wanted to just really get close, we could just say, well, 30. Well, what's 30 times 6? Okay, 6 times 3 is 18 plus a 0 would be 180. So it's just asking you to put your decimal in the correct spot. Okay, 180. This one, again, round it up. Well, an easy one here would be round this up to 9. 99 divided by 3. Okay, 99 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 9 3 times. You get 33. Negative numbers, remember, the larger the negative, actually the smaller the number is. Okay, so we have 34, negative 34 is less than negative 9. Okay, negative 90 or 89 is greater than negative 99. Less than. Okay, so 2 and 99 hundredths is less than 2 and if we could add a 0 here if we needed to. We have 1/4 is greater than, or a negative 1/4 is greater than a negative 1/3. Okay, now this one's a little trickier. So you have an improper fraction here. If you multiply, or 9, if you have 18 of something, okay, so we have a pizza. Let's say 9 slices make the pizza, make one whole pizza. And the top numbers tells you how many you have. So we actually have 18. If you had 18 slices of pizza, how many whole pizzas would you have? You'd actually have 2 whole pieces, so we'd be a negative 2, okay? And a negative 2 is actually greater than a negative 2 and 1/4, okay? Rounded to the nearest tenth. Here's our tenth, okay? And if 9 would bump this to a 10, bump that to 9. And our final one, okay, so 2 cups. 2 cups of flour to make 20 medium-sized cookies. Okay, so what I like to do, if 2, do this in a text box. All right, so if I came up here and I said, okay, this is the easiest way to do these. We've done many of these. If 2 cups equals 20 medium-sized cookies, well, 1 cup would equal 10. Okay, 2 equals, already gave us that, 20. Okay, 3 would equal 30. 4. Okay. So, and so on and so on. Okay. So as we come back here and we look at this, really if you turn it around and come back the other way, you're dividing. Okay, and you're dividing by 10 each time. Because 1 equals 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30. Okay, and if you divided it coming this way, divided by 10. Okay, so 40 divided by 10 is 4 cups. 60 divided by 10 would be 6 cups. 50 would be 5 cups. And the last one, 740 divided by 10 would be 74 cups. Okay. So that's that page. And here's the next one I want to take a quick look at. I want you to practice this. And here's what I want you to practice. Take and draw yourself a big G. Get a sheet of paper. If you have a whiteboard, that would be awesome. If we were in school, we'd be using whiteboards. Okay. This would be a great trick for moms and dads. This is kind of a neat one. Draw the big G. Got to give yourself lots of room. Okay. That is a gallon. One ginormous gallon. Well, in each gallon, we can put 4 quarts. So 4 Q's. Make those as big as you can. Okay. So we have, in a big gallon, there's 4 quarts. Well, take and put your pints in. 2 pints in every quart. Put 2 of them in there. each one, and then I want you to go ahead and draw your cups inside the pints. Okay, so 2 cups in a pint. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in a quart. 4 cups equals a quart. 2 pints equals a quart. Okay, 4 quarts give us a gallon. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints equals a gallon. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups in a gallon. Those of you that are bakers, this will be good for you to remember. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to practice drawing that out. And if we were in class, we would race. We would honestly race. We'd work on going as fast as we can, drawing the gallon. Put your 4 quarts in. Put 2 pints in each quart. Okay, put all your cups in. Grab a bunch of sheets of paper and practice doing it with a pencil. You don't have to go quite as big with a pencil, but on a whiteboard, we would go the whole whiteboard to try to fit that in. Okay, and then to just fill out the rest of these. So if you had, you just count them out. 1 pint. 1 pint. Here's the P for pint. Well, how many cups fit inside that pint? Okay, 2 cups equal a pint. In 1 quart, 1 Q, one of the quarts, how many pints fit in there? 2 of them. Okay, so 2 pints in a quart. A half a gallon. Well, if I took this and I cut it down the middle, now I have a half of gallon. Okay, 1/2 gallon equals 2 quarts. 2 quarts in a half gallon. And finally, 1 gallon equals how many Qs? 4 quarts. Okay. So I want you to practice that many times, and we'll ask questions on that. And I want you to do it enough where you're going to be able to just visualize that. You'll be able to see it. Okay, I have my gallon. Okay, my 4 quarts. Okay, 2 pints in each quart, and then get your cups inside there. Okay, and once you've done that over and over, I'm going to start quizzing you on, well, okay, so you have a quart. How many pints in a quart? 2. How many cups in a quart? 4. And you should be able to actually visualize those being in there. Okay, so let's come down here. It says round your answers to the nearest ounce. 1 cup of dry uncooked rice weighs about how many ounces? For you to be able to answer questions 2, and we're not going to worry about the bottom, we're going to worry about this. For you to answer that, I'm going to give you this one. 1 cup of dry uncooked rice weighs about 8 ounces. Okay, well, if we use the answer for problem 1, which is this, 8 ounces, 1 pint, well, if 1 cup equals 8, there's 2 cups in 1 pint. 1 pint would be 16 ounces. Okay, and then if we said, okay, well, 1 quart, how many cups are in a quart? 4 of them. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32 ounces. Okay, and 1 gallon, 1 full gallon. Okay, so you'd have to take your 16 cups, so 16 cups in a gallon, times 8. Okay, and you get 128 ounces. See if that came up. Ooh, not very good. But it made it. 1 gallon of rice then weighs how much? And if you said 1 gallon or 1 pound is 16 ounces, okay, 1 gallon of rice would weigh 8 pounds. 8 pounds. Okay, but back to this. I want you to draw this out several times and go through some of those and ask you know, if you can do this and get mom or dad to ask you, well, how many pints in a quart?